Alex, good to see you again, my friend.
Thanks for having me, Eric.
Well, I know, from last week to this week, certainly some of our viewers have gone on the website. But for those who haven't, what can people expect when they show up at CaribbeanJournal.com?
Sure. So Caribbean Journal is the largest website in the world covering Caribbean travel. So we focus on travel and tourism. We have a newsletter that goes out every day of the week, 365 days a year. It might be news, it might be features about experiences, it might be videos about beaches, as you've seen. We do rum, we do tourism news, we do interviews. So it's really sort of an all-encompassing look at the travel industry, whether you're a traveler or you work in the hotel industry.
By the way, I'm surprised you didn't choose like, the Arctic Circle. Of course you
That was
chose
number two, actually. It was neck and neck.
right under. Very
Yeah.
good. I mean, because and I know we're seeing some of these images too, but even just to say the word Caribbean is instant vacation, relaxation.
It's true. We had a former minister of tourism who coined a great phrase, which was that the Caribbean is the largest unowned brand name in the world. And we've always kind of taken that to heart because it is. It's not just a place. It's an idea, and it's what everybody dreams about. And it's something we've even seen more so during this crisis because we have the luxury of being able to write about the Caribbean, and every day it's like this little breath of fresh air in your Gmail because you can think about a place where you really wish you were, regardless of what's going on.
Yeah, agreed. And it's certainly aspirational in every way, shape, and form. And one of the things that I find particularly interesting about the Caribbean is its diversity. And yet you say, come on, Eric, it's white sand, it's the palm trees, the sun, the water. How diverse can it be? And yet when you dig into it, haven't you found that with each one of these nations, with each one of these territories, there's a lot of diversity down there?
It's a remarkable amount of diversity, whether it's geological, whether the way the islands are formed, the people in every island are different, the food is different, the music, culture, and it really is an entire little world with so many different destinations that have so many different qualities, and that's what makes it fun for us. I mean, if it were a really homogenous place, we couldn't do what we're doing.
What's the Caribbean like now? If I were able to get on a plane right now and go to, say, you name it, Aruba, and I step off the plane, what would I see?
Right now, not much. It's pretty much completely shut down. And that depends on the specific characteristics of every kind of lockdown. What you have in the U.S. is sort of you can leave for certain essential needs, like going to the bank or going to the grocery store. Some islands you can't even leave your house for groceries.
What are you hearing from the governments just in general about timeline? I mean, here we are, we're all here, it's mid-May, it's the beginning of May, it's the end of May, it's the mid-June. We're hearing all these timelines here in the United States. What are they saying down there?
The biggest thing you hear is that it depends on the major source markets, right? So it depends on what's happening in the U.S., what's happening in Canada, in the U.K. Those are the three primary markets that send tourists to the Caribbean. So that's a big part of it. Having said that, a lot of destinations are starting to prepare plans for when they think things are going to relaunch. And from what we hear, that's from 60 to 90 days from now. That's sort of when they're penciling in. But again, it's going to depend on people getting on planes again.
Well, I was going to say, in normal circumstances, these Caribbean islands, they live and die by the air service to begin with, some
Right.
of which is seasonal, some of which is year round, some of which is pulled at the last minute, added at the last minute. I mean, it's all dependent upon air. A lot of it is dependent on air. And cruise, of course, that's a whole other conversation. But by air, even when these countries are ready to open and it's safe to open, we're back to the airlines, aren't we?
Yeah, and so you're going to see islands that have the best airlift are going to be the ones that airlines start relaunching those routes. The other interesting thing that I heard from a hotelier this morning actually was that high-rise hotels are going to be in the Caribbean are going to be the ones that struggle the most. The larger, big mega resorts are going to struggle because people don't want to be around a bunch of other people. If you have to get in an elevator, he said those hotels are going to lose half the business in the short term. Which is interesting. The good thing about the Caribbean is you do have a lot of resorts that you can walk right up to your room. So that was an interesting thing I heard, and I think it makes a lot of sense, at least in the short term, until we get things under control. Part of the industry that's going to rebound the quickest is villas and private aviation, and that those are going to be there because if you can fly on your own plane or fly on a there are a lot of private airlines in the Caribbean that do scheduled service. So you might have 6-10 people on the flight, and go and drive right to a villa and have someone stock the villa. That's a lot more. That's a lot easier to relaunch than a large hotel.
Well, that brings our final question of the day, which you and I could do this for hours on end because we love the gig. Are there going to be deals to be had? I mean, I know it sounds like how can we even be talking about money at a time like this? Well, let's face it, it's all about money, and we're not going to have a lot of it, but we're still going to have the desire to travel.
For sure. I think I wouldn't have said that like a month ago, but even in the last like 7 or 10 days, now you're starting to see hotels coming out with, deals on booking travel now and advertising the fall and the winter and trying to get business. And I think from what I hear, people are already starting to book trips down the road, in the summer to a much lesser extent, but the winter season seems to be active.
But aren't they going to have to really step up their game, certainly from an individual and from a country, in terms of these are the things we're doing about wiping down these surfaces and disinfecting these things, because safety will be and health will be the number one concern of everybody visiting, wouldn't you say? Not just visiting, but of the population itself, right?
For sure. And I think that's why you see that's the messaging that's coming out from the big hotel companies. And I do think that the governments in the Caribbean, which are they're obviously very tourism focused, they're already Jamaica, for example, is doing training of tourism workers digitally to get them ready. Most of the islands are launching task forces to make sure that they're ready, that they can flip that switch on. It's not going to be easy, but I do see that a lot of these governments and destinations are working already and planning, which is good, which is refreshing to see, and gives you hope for a quicker comeback.
Yeah, agreed. Well, this is perfect. Will you come back and share the latest and greatest from the Caribbean here sometime soon?
For sure.
And maybe we should do. Why don't we take a little bit of a break, and maybe we should. The U.S. Virgin Islands is a perfect example of I know you've made a lot of videos down there, so maybe we'll take a look at one of those on our way out the door here.
Let's do it.
I could take an escape. Where's my cocktail? I need I don't understand. Man, the service here in the studio.
Some rum, right?
Yeah, it's not so good here.
No.
Thank you, my friend. Good to see you again, Alex.
Thank you. Good seeing you too, Eric.
Hey guys, this channel is a celebration of all things travel, so hit that subscribe button. Leave a comment or question, share this video, like it, rate it, whatever. Believe me, it all helps. Thanks for watching.